Welcome to my presentation entitled the isiZulu Hospital Web-Based Learning Project. Hi, my name is Roshni Gokool and I am a second language isiZulu lecturer at the University of KwaZulu-Natal in South Africa, where I teach isiZulu to first-year medical students. Today, I am going to describe to you a work-in-progress project. I will present to you phase 1 of the isiZulu Hospital web-based learning project. Here's my plan for this presentation. I am going to start with a background to the isiZulu course, and then I will talk about the aims of this project. This will then be followed by an outline of the project. Finally, I will showcase the working project site. To give you some context for the course and the study, I will start by talking about the model or approach adopted in this course. In line with the institution's language policy, second language isiZulu is a mandatory course offered to first-year medical students. Students who enroll for this module are first language English or other African language speakers. The module design is based on two key principles of task-based language teaching. Namely, language learning should prepare students for real life or working life situations. Secondly, the mastering of grammar and vocabulary are not the ultimate goal, but are regarded as tools that enable students to perform the real-life tasks or to engage in a meaningful conversation or conduct a meaningful and safe consultation with a patient. A needs analysis was conducted to determine the student's language and technological needs. Data from the needs analysis determines which tasks to include, and then a syllabus is designed around these tasks. Hence, content is organized around the relevance and usefulness to complete these tasks. The design of the pedagogic task is based on real or simulated doctor-patient interviews. These tasks are then graded and sequenced according to the student's proficiency levels and the complexity levels of tasks. So my presentation is not based on this particular aspect of the syllabus, but it will look at the website in particular. Now this slide presents the distribution of South African languages, and it is evident that isiZulu receives the largest slice of the pie. Approximately 70% of residents in KwaZulu-Natal are first language isiZulu speakers. And in a medical setting, poor communication with patients can lead to miscommunication with dangerous consequences, patient dissatisfaction, and delayed service delivery. In the isiZulu module, the Year 1 MBCHB students at the Nelson Mandela School of Medicine at UKZN enroll for a year-long course, giving them the basic vocabulary and grammar needed to communicate with patients. The module does provide valuable necessary skills to students. However, no progression is followed through the curriculum. Yet, students are expected to be assessed during clinical hospital rotations. During the clinical years of study, students have forgotten some of the foundational skills acquired in Year 1, and the demands of clinical years syllabi prevent them from revising or revisiting those skills. It's an ongoing challenge for students to conduct meaningful and engaging consultation with patients during these clinical years of study. The problem is the need to enhance isiZulu clinical communication. Moreover, the need for further integration of isiZulu within the 6-year health sciences curriculum is essential. So by creating an isiZulu language website paired with clinical skills content, offers kind of a practical and economical solution, especially when there is no face-to-face teaching during the clinical years, and building on the year-long module completed in the MBCHB program. This project therefore aims to help students sustain their isiZulu learning and foster autonomous learning throughout the program. Through web-based learning, students can interact with the content irrespective of their location and schedule. The content can be updated and designed interactively throughout the 6-year program. The content provided to students should also be authentic and relevant. For the advancement of teaching and learning of isiZulu within the health sciences curriculum, learning material and resources must also be based on principled second language learning and JALTCAL theories to enhance students' isiZulu clinical communication skills. So the isiZulu Hospital Project team consists of 3 medical students and myself. Currently, the students are involved in designing the website. Content is used from the existing first-year isiZulu module and my PhD study. New content is generated on demand. The site builder used to create the website is called the WP Bakery, and these are some of the plugins currently being used to create the website. This is a sample of the landing page of the website. As I have mentioned, the website is still under construction, and the content you are about to view is phase 1 of the project. It is unidirectional, and the purpose of this prototype is to allow students to interact with the content that was taught in year 1. As we move between the web pages, the content is aligned with its clinical skills content. So this is the current working site. And you will notice in our landing page, on our landing page, we have Nisi Bengu, who's our nurse Bengu, and we have Roshni Gokool, sort of an avatar of me, greeting the students and welcoming them to the isiZulu medical course. But before we go on to the lift, where the lift or elevator will take us to the different years of clinical content, we need to complete a refresher course. So when you get to a refresher course, you can see there's a drop down that gives you greetings and identification, history taking, examinations and investigations, feedback and communication, basic vocab on body parts, and then lastly, basic vocab on common conditions. And as we click on each of them, it will take us to the next page, which gives us pictures, audio clips, and both isiZulu and English translation. So we begin with some greetings, and then we move on to identification. And as we go around with each of the photos, you will notice we have an isiZulu translation with a matching audio and then an English translation provided. So this carries on for most of the tabs The same pattern is followed with the history taking. And with the history taking, you have different tabs here indicating personal details, initiating the session, biomedical perspective, personal history, patient's perspective, and closing the session. And this pattern is adopted from a very Eurocentric doctor-patient communication interviews pattern or style, which is called the Calgary-Cambridge doctor-patient interview form. So within each of the tab, you again have your isiZulu question or sample given to you with a matching audio clip. And for each one of them, you can see you have the isiZulu questions, sample questions with the audio. As we move on then to the next tab, we have the examinations and investigations. Here too, you'll find a very similar pattern, but we have photos given to us here. And these are photos taken of our medical doctors and administrators acting as patients. So as we hover over each of the pictures, you have an isiZulu statement or a phrase with an English translation as well as an audio. And this goes on for examinations and investigations, as well as feedback and communication. So here too, we have a similar pattern where you hover over a picture and it will give you a similar isiZulu, English, and audio option. With a basic vocab on body parts, here you have some graphical images of certain body parts, and when you hover over, you have the isiZulu word with the English and an audio. But an additional feature with the body parts is that it teaches you the singular and plural forms, which was learned in the Year 1 isiZulu module. And if you go right to the bottom of the page, we have an activity which is a crossword puzzle where students can practice and reinforce their vocabulary skill by completing this activity. Similarly, with basic vocab on common conditions, here too you have different illnesses, general diseases, and then some related to the chest or the heart. And same here, when you toggle or hover around rather, you have the isiZulu translation given to you together with the English translation and an audio clip provided. Now, when we get into the lift or the elevator, this takes us to the different years. So we're starting with the 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th. Now, as I mentioned, this site is still under construction, so new content has not been generated for the subsequent years. But if you get into the 2nd year, for example, you will come to this particular page, which gives you an example of what themes or systems are covered in a 2nd year module. And these are, for example, respiratory system. If you click on respiratory system, it will take you into respective videos or vocabulary, audio, and other activities related to the respiratory system. So this is just a sample of what the website project looks like, and I'm happy that I got to share it with you. So going forward from here on, we still have quite a bit of work to do. And the first thing we need to do is to test out the content with the current 2nd year students. We still need to then refine and readjust the content based on their feedback. We then need to try and integrate the website with the institution's learning management site. And at the institution, we use Moodle as the official LMS. We then need to perform a post-project evaluation. And once that is over, we will then begin with phase 2 of the project, wherein we can incorporate other health sciences disciplines within the website. So this brings me to the end of my presentation, and thank you for listening to my presentation, and I look forward to your comments. Thank you very much.